later on. If you move further, then we will discuss the merits and demerits. Okay, and we will done for today. So, what are the merits of a partnership firm? That it mainly involves easy formation. As we know that formation of partnership firm, it is very easy because only two people they are required for a partnership. Again, those person they can sign agreement and they can get their firm registered, because that procedure it is not very complex, it is very easy and it is very quick process. Then partnership firm, it has more capital as compared to the sole proprietor. Even because that partners there are two or more persons, so they can collect the capital and they can arrange more amount of capital, and that helps the firm to grow and to expand. Again, the business secrecy, the partnership firm they can enjoy the secrecy, as firms are not subject to publish books of accounts. They don't have to publish their books of accounts, so due to that competitors they cannot easily come to know about the secrets of the business. Continued existence, that partnership can be continued even after the death of or insolvency or insanity of a partner if it is provided in a partnership deed. Because if it is provided, then there will be no effect on a continuance. Also, they can enter into a new partnership deed after the death if it is required. So, but they can continue with that partnership. Then there is a flexibility in operations, because partnerships they act within themselves. They can expand, they can diversify their business activity as and when required. Also, they can change the line of their business, so there is a lot of flexibility. Decision making, it is very much quick because the limited partners they are working in a partnership firm, so they can discuss with themselves and they can take a decision and they can implement that decision very quickly. And quality, it is more that quality of decision it is better than sole proprietorship, because in sole proprietor only one person is a decision maker, but in case of partnership firm, 2-3 people they came together, they discuss the topic and they can take a more quality decision. Then if efforts and reward relationship it is there among partners, because this is a direct relation between the efforts and rewards in case of partnership firm. Every person or every partner puts in his best efforts, and thus the rewards they are shared by them. And if they work more efficiently, they will get more rewards, and that will be the helpful for the business. Then the goodwill means reputation of a company, which can be expressed in terms of money. The partnership can enjoy a good amount of reputation or good goodwill, and this goodwill in a market is due to the quality service, due to the better service, due to the ethical workings. And normally in case of admission of new partner, the partner they brings certain amount of goodwill, because that person, if that person is a respected member of society and if that person enters into the partnership, obviously partnership that partnership firm it will get a goodwill. Then specialization in partnership business, some partners may be good at different skills such as finance, technology, marketing, which brings specialization in the partnership business, and this specialization it can also bring higher amount of efficiency. But as I said earlier that every coin has a two sides, merits and demerits. What are the demerits of the partnership firm? We are going to discuss them. The first of all, problem of a continuity means, I think this we have seen this point in the features, that on a death, on a insanity, on a insolvency of a partner, that partnership firm it may get dissolved if such thing it is provided in the partnership agreement. Because if there is no such provision, that partnership will continue after death, insanity or insolvency. So in absence of such condition, there is a problem of continuity. Then absence of legal status, as we know that this partnership firm and partners they are one and only same. They don't have any separate legal existence. They are no distinct separate entity. So there is a problem of legal existence, because the liability of a partnership firm becomes the liability of their partners, and they are personally and jointly severally liable for all those liabilities. Dispute, it is a common thing, because if you are talking about a partnership, then two or more people they came together, and as we all know, if those two or more people they came together, everyone have a separate separate aspect, or everyone has a separate angle of thinking. So there are rather greater chances of a dispute, and that disputes affects partnership firm adversely, because it may affect it may affect the working, it may affect the functioning, and it affects the efficiency of the partners, and that leads to the lower amount of the profits or the losses. Then no transferability of interest, that any partner he cannot transfer his interest to any third person. Even if any new partner wants to get involved in the partnership, he needs to take a permission from all partners. Even if a single partner is not ready, that person he cannot enter a partnership. And that might affect a partnership when that person who wants to be the part of that partnership, if that person has a goodwill, if that person is capable of bringing capital, and just because one partner is not ready, he cannot become a partner, and I think that affects the partnership in the future, because they may have lost a good partner, right? Then difficulty in admission of new partner, as I already explained to you, you need permission of all the partners, and even though after the admission of partner, that profit sharing ratio it changed, and that person has to bring the capital and all that stuff. Unlimited liability, as we know that the partnership firm has unlimited liability, there is no separate legal existence. So for fulfillment of business liabilities, those partners, they are personally liable, and they, in case if you fail to repay those loans, you have to sell off your personal property for that repayment purpose. Risk of implied authority, it is often a risk of implied authority in a partnership business, that partner may take undue advantages of managing business on behalf of others, and that leads to the risk of implied authority. Because if any one of the partners sign any kind of agreement in his own capacity, but which is against the interest of partnership firm, that can be responsible, that can lead to the loss on the part of firm, because he can bound all other partners, because as we know, he act as an agent of each other, and for an outsider he act as a principal, so he can bound other partners by his actions. So he needs to be very much cautious about his actions. Then the limited capital, as we know, the partnership firm means, we know that it can bring more amount of capital than sole proprietorship, but still the capital which they can collect, it is not that much big, as if you compare with the companies, that amount of capital which partnership firm has, it is very low amount of capital, and that is the biggest obstacle in the development of a business and expansion of a business. Even though that partnership firm, he don't have to disclose the books of account, he don't have to disclose the financial records or matters, but still they face the problem of secrecy, because some of the partners, they share confidential informations with the outsider, and that put that partnership firm in a risk. So these are the basic disadvantages. I think we will discuss types of partners, type of partnership firm, and then we will go ahead with the next point tomorrow. So till now जितना भी हुआ है एक बार पढ़ लो. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि सर बहुत फास्ट गए हो, so you can call me, you can text me, but I think those points they are very much easy. So आपको समझ में आएगा. अगर नहीं आया तो let me know, I can explain you again. Okay. So till now we will meet tomorrow with the new concept. Okay. So till now, bye bye. Take care of yourself and take care of your family.